Life is full of ups and downs, and at some point, everyone faces failure. It's an unavoidable part of the journey. You can't go through life without experiencing moments where things don't go as planned, where your efforts seem to crumble under pressure, or where dreams are shattered by reality. Failure can come in many forms: a failed business, a lost job, a broken relationship, academic setbacks, health issues, or even personal goals that slip through your fingers. No matter how hard you try, sometimes life throws obstacles at you that feel insurmountable. But here's the thing: failure is not the end, it's just a chapter, not the whole story. When you face failure, it can feel like the world is closing in on you, like everything you worked for has vanished into thin air. But what you have to remember is that failure is not permanent unless you allow it to be. You have within you the strength to rise again, to rebuild, and to move forward. But first, you have to accept that failure is part of being human. Everyone goes through it. Every single person you admire, whether it's a successful entrepreneur, a famous artist, a scientist, or even someone close to you, has faced failure at some point in their lives. They might not talk about it all the time, but they've been there, done that, and come out stronger because of it. So why should you be any different? Failure teaches lessons that success never could. When you fail, you're forced to look inward. You start questioning your choices, your strategies, your mindset, and sometimes even your values. This self-reflection is crucial because it helps you grow. If you had succeeded every time, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to dig deep and discover what truly matters to you. Failure humbles you. It strips away the ego and makes you more grounded. It reminds you that you're not invincible, but that's okay, because being human means being vulnerable, being imperfect, and being capable of learning from mistakes. One goes through it. Every single person you admire, whether it's a successful entrepreneur, a famous artist, a scientist, or even someone close to you, has faced failure at some point in their lives. They might not talk about it all the time, but they've been there, done that, and come out stronger because of it. So why should you be any different? Failure teaches lessons that success never could. When you fail, you're forced to look inward. You start questioning your choices, your strategies, your mindset, and sometimes even your values. This self-reflection is crucial because it helps you grow. If you had succeeded every time, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to dig deep and discover what truly matters to you. Failure humbles you. It strips away the ego and makes you more grounded. It reminds you that you're not invincible, but that's okay, because being human means being vulnerable, being imperfect, and being capable of learning from mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes people make after failing is thinking that they are a failure. But there's a big difference between failing at something and being a failure. Failing is an action, not an identity. You may have failed a test, but that doesn't mean you're a failure. You may have lost your job, but that doesn't define your worth. You may have gone through a painful breakup, but it doesn't mean you're unlovable. Failure is temporary, but allowing it to shape your identity can have long-term consequences. The key is to separate yourself from the failure, acknowledge what happened, learn from it, and then let it go. Holding on to failure only keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt. It prevents you from moving forward and embracing new opportunities. So how do you overcome failure? Well, it starts with acceptance. Accepting that things didn't go as planned is the first step toward healing and growth. It's natural to feel disappointed, angry, or even ashamed, but suppressing those emotions won't help. Instead, allow yourself to feel them, process them, and then channel them into something productive. Anger can be a powerful motivator if used correctly. Disappointment can lead to self-improvement, and shame can push you to make positive changes in your life. Once you've accepted the failure, take time to reflect on what went wrong. Was it poor planning, lack of effort, bad timing, external circumstances, or maybe a combination of factors? Identifying the root cause will help you avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. Reflection is not about blaming yourself or dwelling on the past. It's about gaining clarity and understanding so you can make better decisions moving forward. Next comes resilience, is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it's one of the most important traits you can develop in life. Resilient people don't see failure as a defeat. They see it as feedback. They understand that setbacks are inevitable, but they also know that perseverance leads to progress. Building resilience takes time and practice. It requires cultivating a growth mindset, which means believing that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning from experience. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, see effort as a path to mastery, and view criticism as an opportunity to improve. They don't fear failure because they know that each failure brings them closer to success. Having a support system is also crucial. When overcoming failure, talking to friends, family, mentors, or even seeking professional help can provide emotional support. Guidance and fresh perspectives. Isolation after failure can make things worse, so reaching out and sharing your struggles can lighten the burden and remind you that you're not alone. Another important aspect of overcoming failure is taking action. Once you've processed your emotions, reflected on what went wrong, and sought support, it's time to get back on your feet. This doesn't mean rushing into things blindly, but rather making thoughtful decisions based on what you've learned. Taking small steps forward, even if they seem insignificant, can build momentum and restore your confidence. Every action you take after failure reinforces the belief that you have control over your life and that you can shape your future no matter how many times you fall. Getting up again is what defines you. History is filled with examples of people who faced repeated failures before achieving greatness. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company, Apple, before returning years later to lead it to unprecedented success. These individuals didn't let failure stop them. Instead, they used it as fuel to keep going. Their stories serve as reminders that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey toward success. One of the most damaging effects of failure is the impact it can have on your self-esteem when things don't go as planned. It's easy to start doubting your abilities and questioning your worth, but here's the truth: your value is not determined by your failures. Your worth is inherent. It exists regardless of your achievements or setbacks. Rebuilding self-esteem after failure requires self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a friend going through a tough time. Speak to yourself with encouragement rather than criticism. Focus on your strengths and accomplishments, even the small ones, and remind yourself of past successes that prove you are capable of overcoming challenges. Setting realistic goals can also help restore your confidence after failure. Breaking down larger objectives into smaller, manageable tasks allows you to track progress and celebrate incremental victories. Each small win reinforces your belief in your abilities and builds momentum toward bigger achievements. Celebrating progress, no matter how minor, is essential because it shifts your focus from what went wrong to what you've accomplished despite the setbacks. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another way to maintain motivation after failure. Seek out people who uplift and inspire you. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, and expose yourself to stories of others who have turned failure into success. Inspiration can come from books, podcasts, documentaries, or even conversations with mentors. Staying motivated during difficult times requires discipline and patience. There will be days when you feel like giving up, but remember that progress is rarely linear. There will be setbacks along the way, but each step forward counts, even if it feels slow. Perseverance is what ultimately leads to breakthroughs. Another important lesson failure teaches is adaptability. When things don't work out the way you planned, you have two choices: either give up or find a new path. Adapting means being flexible, open-minded, and willing to change course when necessary. Sometimes the original plan isn't meant to be, and that's okay. Adjusting your approach, trying new methods, or exploring alternative opportunities can lead to unexpected successes that you wouldn't have discovered otherwise. Failure forces you to think creatively and problem-solve in ways you hadn't considered before. It pushes you outside of your comfort zone and expands your perspective. Adapting to failure also means letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism often leads to fear of failure because anything less than perfect feels like defeat. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. Striving for excellence is healthy, but expecting perfection sets you up for disappointment. Learning to embrace imperfection allows you to take risks, experiment, and grow without the paralyzing fear of making mistakes. In addition to resilience, adaptability, and self-compassion, gratitude plays a vital role in overcoming failure. Focusing on what you still have rather than what you've lost helps shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Even in the darkest moments, there are always things to be grateful for. Whether it's supportive relationships, good health, or simply another day to try again, practicing gratitude daily through journaling, meditation, or simple reflection can significantly improve your outlook and emotional well-being. Maintaining a routine can also provide structure and stability during times of uncertainty. After failure, it's easy to fall into unhealthy patterns such as procrastination, isolation, or neglecting self-care. Establishing a daily routine that includes physical activity, healthy eating, mindfulness practices, and time for hobbies can help restore balance and create a sense of normalcy. Physical health directly impacts mental health, so Prioritizing exercise, sleep, and nutrition is essential for overall well-being. Engaging in regular physical activity releases endorphins, which boost mood and reduce stress, while adequate sleep allows your mind and body to recover and function optimally. Nurturing your physical health gives you the energy and clarity needed to tackle challenges head-on and continue moving forward. Failure can also be a great teacher when it comes to relationships. Sometimes relationships end due to incompatible goals, differing values, or growing apart. But these experiences teach us valuable lessons about communication, trust, boundaries, and compatibility. Losing a relationship doesn't mean you'll never find love again. It means you've learned what you need in a partner and what kind of person aligns with your values and goals. Similarly, friendships that fade over time can be painful, but they often make space for new connections that are more aligned with who you are becoming. Loss in relationships is part of life, but it doesn't diminish your capacity to form meaningful bonds in the future. Learning to let go of toxic relationships is also a form of growth. Recognizing when a relationship is holding you back emotionally, mentally, or spiritually allows you to prioritize your well-being and surround yourself with people who genuinely care about your happiness. Overcoming failure in relationships requires vulnerability, courage, and the willingness to open your heart again despite past hurts. But every connection you make adds depth to your life and contributes to your personal evolution. Failure in career and professional endeavors is another common source of distress. Job loss, project failures, missed promotions, or stagnation can shake your confidence and leave you questioning your direction in life. But career paths are rarely straight lines. They twist and turn in unpredictable ways. Sometimes a setback opens the door to an opportunity you hadn't considered before. Being laid off might lead you to pursue a passion you'd previously ignored, starting your own business or switching industries entirely. Sometimes the best career moves come from unexpected detours. Failure in your professional life teaches resilience, resourcefulness, and the importance of continuous learning. Investing in skill development, networking, and staying adaptable in the ever-changing job market increases your chances of long-term success. Viewing career setbacks as redirection rather than rejection allows you to stay proactive and focused on your goals. Financial failure is another area where many people struggle. Debt, bankruptcy, failed investments, or economic downturns can cause immense stress and anxiety. Dealing with financial setbacks requires a combination of practical strategies and mindset shifts. Creating a budget, cutting unnecessary expenses, increasing income streams, and seeking financial advice are essential steps toward recovery. But beyond the logistical aspects, financial failure also tests your ability to remain optimistic and disciplined even when things seem bleak. Learning to manage money wisely after hardship prevents future crises and builds financial resilience for the future. Failure in academics is particularly challenging for students who place high expectations on themselves. Receiving poor grades, failing exams, or not getting into desired institutions can feel devastating, but education is a lifelong journey, and academic performance does not define your potential. Many successful individuals did not excel in school, but found alternative paths that led them to achievement and fulfillment. Taking a gap year, pursuing vocational training, online courses, or community college can provide alternative routes to success. Failure in academics teaches perseverance, time management, critical thinking, and the importance of seeking help when needed. Asking teachers, peers, or mentors for support is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of maturity and commitment to improvement. Failure in health, whether due to illness, injury, or lifestyle choices, can be deeply discouraging. Chronic conditions, accidents, or burnout can derail plans and affect quality of life, but overcoming health setbacks often leads to greater awareness and appreciation for well-being. Recovering from health issues teaches patience, discipline, and the importance of preventive care. Adopting healthier habits, seeking medical advice, and staying consistent with treatment plans are crucial steps toward healing and regaining control over your life. Failure in health also emphasizes the importance of mental health support. Addressing emotional well-being alongside physical recovery ensures a holistic approach to healing. Failure in creative pursuits such as writing, music, art, or entrepreneurship can be especially disheartening because it involves putting your heart and soul into your work. Rejection, criticism, or lack of recognition can make you question your talent and purpose, but creativity thrives in resilience. Many artists, writers, and innovators faced rejection countless times before gaining recognition. Persistence, dedication, and continuous refinement of craft eventually lead to breakthroughs. Failure in creative fields teaches humility, patience, and the importance of staying true to your vision even when others don't immediately appreciate it. Failure in personal goals, such as fitness, weight loss, habit formation, or self-improvement, can be frustrating when progress stalls or old patterns resurface, but personal growth is a lifelong process. Setbacks are natural and expected. The key is consistency and self-awareness, identifying triggers, adjusting strategies, and celebrating small wins keeps you motivated and moving forward. Failure in personal development teaches flexibility, self-compassion, and the power of incremental change over time. Failure in parenting, relationships, or personal responsibilities can weigh heavily on individuals. Feeling like you've let someone down, made a mistake in raising your child, or failed in a duty can cause guilt and regret. But parenting, like any other skill, improves with time, patience, and learning from mistakes. Acknowledging mistakes, apologizing when necessary, and committing to growth strengthens relationships and models accountability for children. Failure in personal responsibilities teaches responsibility, integrity, and the importance of owning up to your actions and making amends. Failure in social situations, such as public speaking, awkward interactions, or conflict resolution, can be intimidating, but social skills are developed through practice and exposure. Overcoming social failure involves stepping outside comfort zones, learning from mistakes, and gradually building confidence through repetition and positive reinforcement. Failure in leadership roles, whether in the workplace, community, or personal projects, can be daunting when decisions lead to unintended consequences or team conflicts arise. Effective leadership requires humility, adaptability, and the ability to learn from missteps. Admitting fault, taking responsibility, and using failures as learning opportunities strengthens leadership capabilities and fosters trust among teams. Failure in innovation and risk-taking is inevitable because pushing boundaries and trying new things naturally involves uncertainty, but progress depends on experimentation and resilience. Every failed attempt brings valuable data and insights that inform future attempts. Failure in innovation teaches agility, problem solving, and the courage to challenge the status quo. Failure in everyday life, such as missing deadlines, forgetting commitments, or making errors in routine tasks, happens to everyone. Nobody is immune to occasional lapses, but these small failures are opportunities to refine organization, time management, and attention to detail. Developing systems, routines, and checklists minimizes recurring mistakes and enhances efficiency. Failure in technology, digital ventures, or modern adaptations can be frustrating when updates malfunction, platforms change, algorithms, or digital skills become outdated, but staying current requires continuous learning, adaptability, and openness to change. Failure in tech teaches digital literacy, problem solving, and the importance of staying informed in a rapidly evolving world. Failure in environmental sustainability efforts, such as not meeting eco-friendly goals, reducing carbon footprint, or facing resistance in green initiatives, can be discouraging, but progress in sustainability is a collective effort. Individual contributions matter, even if they seem small. Staying committed to environmentally conscious choices, advocating for change, and supporting sustainable movements contribute to long-term impact. Failure in activism, social justice, or humanitarian work can feel overwhelming when change seems slow or opposition strong, but every movement begins with small steps and persistent advocacy. Historical social reforms were driven by individuals who refused to give up despite setbacks. Failure in activism teaches perseverance, unity, and the power of collective action. Failure in travel adventures, such as missed flights, lost luggage, language barriers, or unexpected obstacles, can disrupt plans, but these experiences often become the most memorable and enriching parts of the journey. Learning to navigate unforeseen circumstances with grace, humor, and adaptability turns travel mishaps into stories of resilience and cultural exchange. Failure in sports, athletic competitions, or physical performance is part of the game. Every athlete faces losses, injuries, setbacks, and defeats, but champions are defined by their response to failure. Training harder, refining techniques, seeking coaching, and maintaining mental toughness transforms athletes into winners. Failure in sports teaches discipline, teamwork, resilience, and the importance of playing with integrity regardless of outcome. Failure in spirituality, faith, or existential journeys can lead to periods of doubt, confusion, or disillusionment, but spiritual growth often emerges from questioning, seeking answers, and finding deeper meaning through introspection, prayer, meditation, or philosophical exploration. Failure in spiritual pursuits teaches humility, openness, and the courage to explore truths beyond conventional beliefs. Failure in artistic expression, such as painting, acting, dancing, or filmmaking, can involve rejection from audiences, critics, or industry professionals, but art is subjective and personal expression. Perseverance, authenticity, and continued creation validate the artist's purpose even in the face of indifference. Failure in artistic fields teaches resilience, self-expression, and the value of contributing beauty and insight to the world. Failure in scientific research, experiments, or discovery can result in hypotheses disproven, inconclusive results, or technical errors, but science advances through trial and error. Each failure provides data that refines understanding and guides future inquiry. Failure in science teaches patience, curiosity, and the pursuit of knowledge for its own sake. Failure in culinary arts, cooking, baking, or food ventures can involve ruined dishes, failed recipes, or customer dissatisfaction, but cooking is a skill that improves with practice, experimentation, and learning from mistakes. Turning kitchen failures into learning opportunities enhances culinary expertise and creativity. Failure in culinary pursuits teaches adaptability, taste, refinement, and the joy of nourishing others. Failure in fashion design, styling, or personal image can involve unpopular choices, wardrobe malfunctions, or style critiques, but fashion is a form of self-expression that evolves over time. Embracing individuality, experimenting with trends, and refining personal aesthetics develops confidence and authenticity. Failure in fashion teaches creativity, self-assurance, and the freedom to redefine style. Failure in real estate, housing, or property investments can involve market fluctuations, foreclosures, or purchasing regrets, but real estate is a dynamic field where learning from mistakes improves decision-making. Future investments and property management. Failure in real estate teaches financial literacy, strategic thinking, and the importance of market research. Failure in digital content creation, such as blogging, vlogging, podcasting, or social media, can face low engagement, algorithm changes, or burnout, but consistent quality content, audience engagement, and adaptation to platform dynamics build sustainable influence. Failure in digital content teaches branding, storytelling, and the value of connecting with communities. Failure in education, reform, teaching methods, or institutional policies can face bureaucratic hurdles, resistance to change, or implementation challenges, but educational improvements stem from dedicated educators, advocates, and policymakers working tirelessly to enhance learning environments for future generations. Failure in education teaches perseverance, advocacy, and the belief in empowering minds. Failure in technological entrepreneurship, startups, or innovations can involve funding rejections, product flaws, or market competition, but groundbreaking ideas emerge through persistence, iteration, and responsiveness to user feedback. Failure in tech entrepreneurship teaches resilience, business acumen, and the vision to solve real-world problems. Failure in personal finance, investments, stock market, crypto, or retirement planning can involve losses, miscalculations, or market volatility, but financial wisdom grows through experience, diversification, and long-term strategy. Failure in investing teaches fiscal responsibility, risk assessment, and the importance of continuous financial education. Failure in literature, writing, publishing, or authorship can include rejection letters, poor sales, or negative reviews, but storytelling remains a powerful force that connects hearts and minds across cultures. Persistence in writing and refining craft eventually finds its audience. Failure in literary pursuits teaches voice, narrative development, and the enduring impact of words. Failure in philosophy, ethics, or intellectual discourse can involve flawed arguments, moral dilemmas, or ideological clashes, but intellectual growth arises from debate, reflection, and open-minded dialogue. Failure in philosophical pursuits teaches critical thinking, ethical reasoning, and the pursuit of truth. Failure in music composition, performance, or production can involve stage fright, missed notes, or lack of recognition, but music transcends failure. It heals, inspires, and unites people across generations. Continuing to create and share music affirms its timeless power. Failure in musical endeavors teaches rhythm, harmony, and the universal language of emotion. Failure in architecture, engineering, or construction can involve structural flaws, design limitations, or budget overruns, but innovation in design and problem-solving leads to resilient infrastructure. Failure in architectural fields teaches precision creativity and the fusion of functionality with beauty. Failure in politics, diplomacy, or governance can involve policy setbacks, election losses, or public scrutiny, but leadership requires resilience, integrity, and service to the greater good. Failure in political arenas teaches negotiation, compromise, and the importance of civic engagement. Failure in psychology, therapy, or mental health advocacy can involve misdiagnosis, therapeutic setbacks, or stigma, but compassionate support and evidence-based approaches foster healing and awareness. Failure in psychological fields teaches empathy, resilience, and the unwavering belief in human potential. Failure in journalism, media, or communication can involve misinformation, censorship, or declining credibility, but responsible reporting, transparency, and ethical storytelling uphold the integrity of information. Failure in journalistic pursuits teaches truth-seeking, accountability, and the power of informed societies. Failure in agriculture, farming, or sustainability can involve crop failures, climate challenges, or market instability, but food security and environmental stewardship rely on adaptive agricultural practices. Failure in agricultural endeavors teaches resilience, land stewardship, and the importance of nourishing the planet. Failure in aerospace, aviation, or space exploration can involve technical malfunctions, mission delays, or safety concerns, but human curiosity and ingenuity propel advancements in exploration. Failure in aerospace teaches innovation, perseverance, and the boundless nature of discovery. Failure in robotics, artificial intelligence, or automation can involve programming errors, ethical debates, or integration challenges, but technological evolution continues to reshape industries and enhance human capabilities. Failure in AI teaches responsibility, innovation, and the balance between progress and ethics. Failure in law, legal proceedings, or justice advocacy can involve case losses, courtroom disappointments, or systemic injustices, but the pursuit of fairness, equality, and legal reform drives societal progress. Failure in legal fields teaches advocacy, justice, and the unwavering pursuit of truth. Failure in medicine, healthcare, or patient care can involve diagnostic errors, treatment failures, or emotional burnout, but medical professionals dedicate their lives to healing, alleviating suffering, and advancing wellness. Failure in medical professions teaches compassion, resilience, and the sacred duty to preserve life. Failure in religion, faith traditions, or spiritual leadership can involve doctrinal disagreements, internal conflicts, or declining congregations, but spiritual guidance and interfaith dialogue promote understanding, peace, and inner transformation. Failure in religious contexts teaches humility, devotion, and the search for higher meaning. Failure in entertainment, film, television, or performing arts can involve box office flops, casting rejections, or harsh critiques, but entertainment captivates imagination, stirs emotions, and reflects cultural narratives. Continuing to create and entertain reaffirms the magic of storytelling. Failure in entertainment teaches resilience, creativity, and the enduring power of art to move hearts. Failure in sports, coaching, training, or athletic development can involve team conflicts, performance plateaus, or injury setbacks, but mentorship, discipline, and passion cultivate champions both on and off the field. Failure in athletic coaching teaches leadership, perseverance, and the transformative impact of guiding others toward greatness. Failure in social entrepreneurship, nonprofit work, or charity can involve funding shortages, volunteer burnout, or limited reach, but compassionate action and grassroots efforts drive meaningful change. Failure in social impact work teaches generosity, resilience, and the belief in uplifting humanity. Failure in international relations, diplomacy, or global cooperation can involve geopolitical tensions, cultural misunderstandings, or negotiation breakdowns, but cross-cultural understanding, collaboration, and peaceful resolutions foster global harmony. Failure in diplomatic affairs teaches patience, dialogue, and the shared aspiration for worldwide peace. Failure in personal branding, marketing, or self-promotion can involve inconsistent messaging, poor visibility, or brand misalignment, but authentic representation, strategic outreach, and value-driven positioning establish credibility and recognition. Failure in branding teaches self-awareness, communication, and the importance of standing for something meaningful. Failure in adventure, exploration, outdoor survival, or extreme sports can involve dangerous conditions, equipment failures, or unexpected dangers, but overcoming natural challenges builds resilience, respect for the environment, and the thrill of human endurance. Failure in Adventurous pursuits teaches preparation, adaptability, and the spirit of exploration. Failure in technology repair, maintenance, or troubleshooting can involve complex problems, elusive bugs, or hardware malfunctions, but problem-solving patience and technical knowledge resolve issues and restore functionality. Failure in technical support teaches logic, persistence, and the satisfaction of restoring order from chaos. Failure in parenting styles, discipline, or child-rearing approaches can involve behavioral challenges, miscommunication, or generational gaps, but parenting evolves through learning, adapting, and fostering mutual respect. Failure in parental guidance teaches patience, empathy, and the lifelong journey of nurturing and connection.